Thank you, Mayor, for being here and bringing awareness to this really important child safety issue, baby heat stroke. I started this nonprofit organization called Baby Heatstroke 3 years ago, and I help parents and caregivers not to forget their child in the back seat. So I created this hand tag, and you can put it on the rear view mirror of your car. So just to remind parents and caregivers to check before they leave the car. And if I may add some facts to the viewers, in 2016 there have been 5 deaths, and 5 deaths in Florida, but in total throughout the country there have been 39. And in 2017 there have been 2 deaths in Florida, one in Tampa and one like a couple miles from here in Pinecrest. And I want to prevent these deaths. For example, there was this one little boy, his name was Sam, and he passed away in Pinecrest by just being left in the backseat of a car. And also another boy by Jacob Manchego, a 2-year-old boy. His sister was going to work and then simply forgot and left him in the backseat. And they passed away just from so much heat exposure. And I have some statistics too. So if it's 80 degrees outside of a car, the temperature can increase dramatically in over just a couple minutes. So after 10 minutes, it can go to 99 degrees. And after 20 minutes, it can go to 109 degrees, which you can see it's already increasing. So a baby's temperature at 107 degrees, their vital organs start to drop and they start dying away. And this is the beginning of a heat stroke. And they're no longer perspiring, and in just a couple minutes, they'll die. So, Mayor, I'd like to ask you now a couple of questions. So, in Florida, we have the Good Samaritan law, where the first thing you can do is call 911, or the second thing you can do is break the window. Do you think this is effective? Do you think this is a good idea?
I think it's just a small cure for a huge problem. It doesn't solve the end, because at the end, most likely, the child will die. Uh, it has to be a person that recognizes that this is happening just as the person walk away and they couldn't find the person, and then I personally, I would break the window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care,
Yeah.
about the damages and all that. If you call 911, I can guarantee you that a rescue truck will be there within 5 to 6 minutes. That's the response time. However, 5 minutes could be the difference between life and death. So, the Good Samaritan, yes, you will immediately call 911, but from the minute that, for instance, in the city of Miami, our communication bridge received the call and start talking to the person, start asking for the address, that that communications person is working on the computer, sending the message to the nearest fire station, which in turn will sound an alarm, which in turn 3 paramedics will get on a rescue, which they will drive with sirens on because they know that this is an emergency. But they will get there uh, between 5 to 6 minutes. Hopefully, they would not encounter gridlock in traffic, because if they do, they have to call the police, so the police will open a way for them. So that would make another minute or 2 minutes. If we're talking of a person that, an adult that is in this situation, probably they might get there and save a life. But the law of probability says that when you have a small child, like you said, it's very difficult. So we need a stronger state statute that would create a law whereby law enforcement can act immediately by probably most likely arresting the person, and then you investigate. And that's parallel to rescue, taking care of the victim. But why the law is necessary? Because it would remind people that they will go to jail if they're careless. It's no longer an accident. It's a second degree homicide. So it's manslaughter. So you know, I think that's why I commend you, because this awareness campaign gave us elected official the data that we know, and hopefully there will be a law, and hopefully different cities will support this law, and hopefully the people would understand that, you know, I if with this law you can save one life, one single life, you did great.
That makes the best difference.
I mean, you just saved the life of a child who could be anything. But if they die, we will never know.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. And do you think the law for leaving kids unattended should be therefore enforced?
Absolutely. There is, the law is very gray, you know, because you may say, well, it was an accident, you know, I made a mistake, I was rushing because I was buying groceries for my kids. So, I mean, if you get caught into a bar and you were drinking and your child is there, well, you go to jail immediately. But you know, there is this gray area that, oh, I am so sorry. That's your excuse. You know, I didn't know. That's what, that is your excuse. So I think that yes, laws should be enforced, but you need to have a law that doesn't have gray areas. You need to have a law that whether you forgot, you cannot say I'm sorry. You just, you know, if you kill a person, you're supposed to, you're driving, you kill a person, you're supposed to stay there. You cannot just leave because you were nervous or you were in a hurry. If you leave, that's a felony add to your careless driving. So it is not the same. So you know, I think that the laws that we have now in the books are not good enough.
So we need something that's more impactful and that they won't make any more mistakes.
Absolutely, I think you know, laws send messages. You know, you're not supposed to steal things because, you know, your family taught you not to steal things. But if you steal things, you go to jail, and it doesn't matter if you need that thing. Mm-hmm. You go to jail. So the law has been kind of lenient in saying, well, you know, okay, you're going to be charged, but then there are circumstances. You know, you were taking pills, or you forgot, and you thought that your husband took the kid, and he didn't do it. So it has to be a very detailed. So So law enforcement can enforce, and the state attorney then can file charges, and then you have to go to court, and you will go to jail, mandatory. I don't think that the law is really strict in saying, if that happened, it's a minimum 5 years. You discharge a weapon, minimum 5 years, no question.
Thank you. I agree. And let's say I was at the shopping center and I found a child in a car. Should I first call 911? Should I get the manager? Or should I get someone nearby that can help me break the window? What should I do first?
It's about saving a life. What would it take to save a life? It's one person's decision. I want to say that if someone's window is broken and the child is safe, that person is not going to file charges against you. So it's about, but especially here in Florida, what is the first thing that people do when they get on the car? They don't put the radio on. They put the air condition. So we adults, I can't stand this heat. We put the air condition. So imagine a little baby with inside a car, like you said, temperatures that are unbearable.
Right. So different from a child and an adult.
Right. An adult will just open the door, kick the door. Imagine a child on a child's seat. It's nothing that this child can do.
Right.
Just
they can't open the door. They
just
can't take off the
just
seatbelt.
maybe cry and maybe die. That's all they can do.
Exactly. And also, I have an expression or a catchphrase. I say, look before you lock. Do you have an expression that you can create that you can tell to teenagers, children, adults, just something that would stand out, like an expression that you can create?
Don't forget the baby.
I like that.
Because if you forget that baby, the baby's gone.
And this is kind of a difficult question, but do you have some ideas that you can help parents to remember not to forget their child in the back seat? Something that they just won't forget their child.
I think that if you have an awareness campaign combined with a law that it's going to be harsh, you will never forget. If you are in a car and you're going to do an errand, you won't leave your purse in the passenger's seat because you think that somebody's going to steal it. So, because that may be crime. So you just need to know that there is a law, that you will be punished no matter what are the circumstances, and that's why it's the only way to remind it. The public awareness is important. Here in Florida, we have public awareness campaign. Don't leave your child unattended near a pool because they might die, and they do. I think it has to be a combined effort: public awareness, strict law, a campaign that people really know there is consequence for that.
I agree. So to have many steps, take many impactful steps that parents, caregivers won't forget their child in the backseat.
Right.
I agree. And there's a story, a personal story that I know of of a small little boy, a little child that was actually left in the back seat. And his parents, they were going to church, and when they came back an hour later, they found him. But the most disturbing thing was that there were actually bite marks all over his arms. Just he was trying to cope with the pain. He was alone. He was abandoned, and that's why I've created Baby Heat Stroke. That's why I've created so much awareness. I'm trying to spread the word through my website, through my Facebook, for parents not to forget their child in the back seat. So I'd like to ask you a really important question. If one day out of the year we could create Baby Heat Stroke Awareness Day, and we can have a concert, we can get musicians. I'd love to get people from my school. They would be so excited to join. What do you think about that?
I think municipal governments, county governments, state government are obligated to do things for the community. You know, as we proclaim Cancer Awareness Day, or AIDS Awareness Day, or Autism Awareness Day, cities should do that, because this is an ongoing problem, and this is something that kills people, and especially the weakest of the weak, which is a baby, has no way in defending himself or herself.
It's hard
You
for
know,
a little voice.
it's what can a baby do? The baby are the most vulnerable link in the society, because they don't have ways to defend themselves. So I think yes, and I will commit to you that we will proclaim a day as Babyheatstroke Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor, for everything, and thank you for being here. It was fun. I had fun with you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your leadership in Miami. Let's go impact the community.
We
Thank
will.
you.